Hi folks, it's Switchback. Today I'm packing up for my backpacking trip that starts tomorrow, and so I thought I would bring you in on that so I could show you what I have with me and how I'm going to be packing it. So everything is spread out here on the floor behind me. I do take a dry bag to try to keep my sleeping bag, which I don't use a stuff sack for, nice and dry in case of rain, in case I fall into a creek again, during any kind of water crossings. I'm also going to put my sleep clothes in there and potentially my power banks just to keep them dry as well. So I'm going to start with my pack, and I'm going to put in my bladder so that I can actually fit it in there. I have a 55-liter stuff sack inside of my 55-liter pack, although it's technically more like 52 liters because it's an extra small. But I like that it fills out the whole main part of the pack. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my sleeping bag, and then I'll add my sleep clothes as well. Next are my sleep clothes. I'm going to throw in my spare socks and my power banks, my puffy, and my pillow. So it'll compress down more as I hike, but I've got it pretty suctioned down right now. So next I'm going to put in my bear can. And again, I have the lid screwed on, but it's not totally tightened. I can still take it off. Before I leave it for the night, I will absolutely be locking it past both of the locks. All right, now everything else gets to go around those. So I've got my sleeping pad, my pot, my mug nests nicely in there, and the whole thing nests nicely into my windscreen. Then I put my sponge inside, and I take the MRSR Pocket Rocket out of the case because it saves me an ounce, and I can just wrap it up in my dish towel. And then it stays protected inside of here. The lid doesn't quite fit on, but I try to keep them all relatively together. Next, I'm going to add my fuel. And this should never be stored in your bear canister. If there is some kind of a leak, it can contaminate your food. I put all of my emergency supplies in the top lid or the brain, so I'll be leaving some of that stuff out here. I'm going to go ahead and load up all of my emergency supplies into my brain here. So in that, I'm putting my first aid kit. I have an emergency poncho and a space blanket. I've got my compass. Putting in the larger stuff first. I've got my emergency medications, my daily medications, my backup water treatment, which I use Aquamira drops. I've got some camp soap, some sunscreen, and some hand lotion. Probably should have put this in my bear can. I will before I go to bed, but it can just go in with the emergency stuff for right now. I have Tenacious Tape, which is great for all kinds of repairs. For a jacket, a sleeping pad, a tent, it's just wonderful. I've already repaired a different sleeping pad with it once, and I keep scissors in my emergency kit, so I can always cut out a piece as appropriate. And then I have some bug spray, my inhaler. I carry an emergency mirror in case I need to signal for anything, and I'll just throw my comb in here. And I also keep a nail file in case I snag a nail and don't want to keep snagging it. It's like 1 gram. All right, next I'm going to put my sandals, my camp shoes, into one of the side pockets here. And I can put my toilet paper and my trowel inside the pack today. Sometimes I keep it on a side pocket. This time I'm gonna keep it inside. But I keep it near the top, so if I really need it, I can always reach it. So I've got a pea style, I have some wipes. I'm gonna keep those within hand's reach, which will be a first for me on a backpacking trip. So also in my emergency supplies, I'm gonna put my gloves, my lighter and my matches, and my headlamp. So I have my campfire permit and my wilderness permit, and I'm gonna keep those handy and accessible in the main mesh pocket on the outside here. I like to wrap up my Sawyer filter in a bandana so that if it's wet, it doesn't drip into my stuff. I also wipe down my CNOC bladder after I collect water so that that dirty water doesn't end up in my clean water anyway. And those are gonna go in that mesh pocket on the outside here. And so is my food for the first day. Because I will be heating up food at some point, I have my Amazon pouch. And I'm gonna keep my map handy. I'm probably gonna want a way to eat if I have dinner here. So on the other side pocket, normally I keep my toilet paper there, but it's not gonna fit on this trip because it's a little bit longer trip for me. So I'm gonna put my journal, my golf pencil, I'll put my chargers in there as well. And my tent stakes. And I also carry a Patagonia Houdini jacket because it's so light. It's a great windbreaker. It keeps me pretty warm if I'm cold, and it's also good in a light rain. No rain is expected on this trip. Thankfully, everything has been happening this week, so this next week should be good. I'm gonna put my bear spray where I can reach it. And then go ahead and cinch down the roll top here. And I'll double check that it feels balanced. Yeah. So I keep my tent on the outside right across here where I close the top lid over it. And then I take a little time to adjust, make sure everything is kind of balanced here. So here's my pack, ready to go for the trip. And then in the side pockets here, I really don't use them a whole lot because they're kind of hard to access, but I will put my wallet, I keep one credit card, my driver's license, and a little bit of cash. And then my keys, they go in one pocket. Sometimes I'll put a snack in the other one. I'm gonna snap my Garmin InReach on there so that I can always reach it anytime I'm on the trail. Then I'm gonna put together my Fanny Pack that I will wear in addition to my pack. So this particular one, it's an ultralight from Patagonia. It actually folds into itself if I ever wanted to do that, but I never do. So in the front little pocket, I put chapstick, a tiny thing of Body Glide, a pocket knife, and some headphones. And I'll zip that up. And then in this main pocket, I'll put a bandana for blowing my nose, and I'll carry my phone in there, and I usually leave it open. Sometimes I'll put a snack in there as well. So this is really handy, much more accessible than the hip belt pockets on the pack. So from here, I just have what I'm gonna wear, which I put back in the closet, but it's gonna be a ball cap. I wear a tank top with a light sports bra. I wear a long sleeved button down Sahara shirt that I can roll the sleeves up on. And that gives me a little bit of sun protection, and it also keeps me from chafing because unfortunately, as much as I love my pack, the straps do chafe under my arms if I don't have some kind of a protection on there. And then I'm gonna wear some running shorts, some socks, and I wear some Dirty Girl gaiters to keep any dirt and other nonsense out of my socks. And then I wear my trail runners. And then I've forgotten them before, but I'm not gonna forget them this time, my trusty trekking poles. So I'll look forward to updating you guys when I get back, and I hope that you found this helpful. I welcome any questions that you might have in the comments. Please like, subscribe, share the video. I'll look forward to seeing you after my trip. Thanks, bye.